want to thank Stocks and Commodities Magazine for sponsoring today's event. I do think you should have that. If you buy any of the add-ons today, you're going to get at least 5 months for free to them, and they've been a valuable partner for these sessions. We certainly appreciate them. And again, continuing education. I believe in life you're going one direction or you're going another. There's not really a lot of idling in life. And if you want to become better and better at trading, how good is it to get a magazine every week that gives you different ideas and different strategies and different kind of mentalities into the marketplace? I did make a list of all the offers that were available, and I noticed some questions coming in. We've got the free trial link set up at www.metastock.com/tradersummitt. We have the 3-for-1 link, which is metastock.com/tradersummit 3-for-1. I actually have a slide that has all of those on there, so all of the different offers that we talked about. Like I said, we do have people here that can answer questions for you. We're going to stay here as long as we're getting phone calls, so call right away. And I'm just going to add the phone number to this slide in real time right now. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll come back to the questions. So the phone number to call us on if you have questions or if you want to get help setting up your MetaStock package is right there at the top, 800-882-3040. If you're international and just want to chat with us, again, we'll stay in here as long as we're needed, and then they're going to go home and play with our families. MetaStock.com. And I'll just leave this up on the screen for you so you can kind of have everything that we've talked about today. And let's take a look at some questions. Okay. Michael says, thank you so much. This was an awesome summit. I'm looking forward to reviewing the recording. Thanks again. Mike, thanks for coming. I mean, really, I'm impressed. We had about 7,000 registrations and about 4,500 people sign up to come in today. I think the speakers that we had in here were fantastic, and I hope you liked it. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. We'll probably be doing another one. We'll probably give it a couple months. You have no idea how much work goes into pulling one of these off, and I don't want to do it necessarily all the time. So probably I'm thinking like maybe March or April we'll do another summit. Thanks for coming in, guys. Everything we talked about, Howard asked a really good question. Everything we've talked about will work with MetaStock Pro or end of day to day. The difference between MetaStock Pro and MetaStock is with MetaStock Pro you can go in and get real-time data. You also get streaming level. You get a product called Icon, which is a product Reuters spent $1 billion on. And if you're interested in news or fundamentals or sector stuff or macroeconomics, you really should try out Icon. It is, I should call it Zenith, because that's what we call it. We have a white label version of MetaStock or Thomson Reuters Icon. We call it MetaStock Zenith, but it's a fantastic product. And I will say that if you're not interested in news, you should be. I had the opinion most of my adult life that news wasn't important. I wasn't going to pay attention to it. But the thing is, and Tom told me this at our New York session, and it makes a lot of sense, the market pays attention to news, and you should too. And Zenith has probably got some of the best news in there, some of the fastest news that you'll see. You should definitely try out Zenith. I mean, I've had people that were using products that were much more expensive for news. In fact, the first person I sold Zenith to was in Toronto at the Money Show several years ago, and he called me back just to say thanks. I'm saving $1,800 a month, and this is even better than what I was paying for before. So try it. It's great. You're welcome, Sam. Thanks for it. There's an exit survey. I want your honest feedback as you're going through the survey. I would appreciate if you fill out the survey on the way out. It's only like 3 questions, and love to hear what kind of your ideas are to make the next one better and your ranking for it. A lot of questions on the recording. We will be doing a recording. Obviously, we have about 7 or 8 hours of video now, and we're going to kind of move that all up onto YouTube and make it available on our YouTube site. So it's also a lot of video to kind of go through and process. So it'll probably be between Wednesday and Friday next week when it's all available. So give us some time on that. It's a lot of video. In fact, when I close down my machine today, I'm going to let it just start the process. It'll probably take until the middle of tomorrow. Jeff asks, is it easy for me to upgrade to Zenith? Yes, it is. Just give us a call. They can give you some really good offers. They can figure out what you've got. We've got people here ready to answer that question. It's 800-882-3040. Anthony says, please explain the 3-for-1 offer, and if I submit for today's offer, may I get a special rate for Pro and version and Zenith offer? Okay, I will do that. The 3-for-1 offer, let me see if I've got a slide that kind of has the pricing. Let me go back to that screen. The 3-for-1 offer, basically what we say is if you buy 1 month of one of our subscription products, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 extra months for free, which is really, in my opinion, the best way to try MetaStock because there's a lot of things that you can play with. So what we're saying is if you buy 1 month of MetaStock, and I'm just looking for the right slide, there's about 70 slides here. I found it. Let me see if I can just click on it and go to it. Let's see. It's slide number 39, but when I double click on it, it doesn't seem to go to that slide. Let me go back to it here. We'll find it real quick. So if you pay for 1 month, we're going to give you 3 months, which means you'll be able to play with it during your downtime for the Christmas holiday. For Thanksgiving, you'll be able to play with it. You're going to be playing with it just about until Valentine's Day. I mean, I think it's the week before Valentine's Day when your 3-for-1 trial is going to come due. And if you sign up, basically the differences between the two products are hourly updated version of MetaStock. We used to call it end of day. I'm trying to get out of calling it end of day. It's $59. So that's basically $20 a month. MetaStock Pro is $250 a month. So if you divide that by 3, that's how much you'd pay to evaluate the software. When you call in and talk to our sales guys, make sure to talk to them about the purchase options because you can basically do a purchase of either MetaStock end of day or real time, and that serves to make your cost quite a bit cheaper going forward after your trial. Hopefully that helps. The Haguro is an add-on for MetaStock, except for it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And if you come to, let me go, it's funny, I click on the slides over in my viewing pane and it doesn't necessarily jump through to them. But if you just go to metastock.com/Haguro, you can download that. It'll install into MetaStock as long as you're using 13 or higher. Another question on the videos and the archives and stuff like that. What I will do is we'll actually have them all available after this session, probably like Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to post that up to metastock.com/traders-summit, which, but I'll email you that link when it's available. As long as you're opted in, you'll be able to get that. Okay, again, one other thing that I wanted to mention before we left is if you got a presentation that you liked, or maybe there was an offer that you did not put in for when you initially signed up, what I will actually ask you to do if you want to get a bonus offer that you didn't sign up for initially is just register for the summit again and select that offer. A lot of people have asked, well, I really liked, let's say for example, Steve Bigelow's summit, but I forgot to register for his thing, or I didn't register for his freebie. In that case, just go to the summit page. You have to do this before Monday, register again, and make sure to select that offer, which will allow me to kind of send your information to him. That's all of the questions. So I'm going to say thank you again for coming to the summit. What a great session. Oh, actually, there's more questions. I'll stay as long as I'm needed to answer the questions. Rupesh asks, is there a special offer for yearly subscription of Zenith? Yeah, we give you a 20% discount to do yearly. And if you ask nicely, you'll get a free 2 months in the end of that too. So give us a call. We'll help you get set up through that, Rupesh. I noticed there's a ton more questions, so we won't close up just yet. Shalindra said there was a problem. Shalindra, drop me an email. And let me look at that for you. So you had a question about the billing or about your order. So let me take a look at that for you when we have a couple seconds. Here's my email address. I should have just sent that to everybody. Let me send that to everybody. You're welcome to give me an email if you want to. Here's my email address and my contact information. Any feedback that you have on this session, feel free to ask. I do have a question from Coral. Coral asks if Coral asks, is MetaStock compatible with Macintosh? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the FAQ so I say this exactly correctly. Let me just open up a Chrome browser here. We do work with some of the later Intel based Macs, but it is a Windows emulation, which is why I want to kind of read it out of the FAQ for you. Okay, right here, FAQ, MAC. Officially, MetaStock's not supported on the Mac. I have a lot of clients that use Mac. It requires that you install Boot Camp and Windows. So you can either decide to do that. Some of our customers decide that they'd rather just have a treating dedicated PC and go and get a cheap PC or something along those lines. That's up to you because you do have to buy Windows either way. So I have seen MetaStock running on Macs. I don't personally use it, but it runs really well as long as you kind of follow the instructions that are there. Okay. Oh, Maverick asked a question. I'm sure many of us are curious about your personal trading style. I can tell you a little bit about how I trade. And lately, if you watch some of the older webinars, I do webinars all the time. Thanks for asking, Maverick. I'll tell you. I personally, I used to trade just diamonds and dogs. And if you're not familiar with ETFs, diamonds are just a bet that the market's going to go up, and dogs are a bet that the Dow Industrial is going to go down. I've converted over a little bit lately to taking option calls. So if I think that if my signals are going up on the Dow, I basically buy options or buy calls. So if my signals are giving me a sell signal, I'm going to be taking puts. We actually, I'll go into a little bit more detail on, we actually have developed some stuff using, that I'm using very extensively now that we're going to release for free. And when that happens, I'm going to do some webinars on that. Right now, like I said earlier, I'm using Haguro to look at the Dow to kind of determine a weekly bias. And then I'm using this other stuff that we're going to also release for free for MetaStock users that has been working really, really well. So I'm not sure when that's going to come out. I think we'll have it ready by the end of the year, and it's really, really cool. And the other thing that I think is really, really cool is we're making more and more stuff that we're just giving to you. I think our customers are going to start to appreciate that. Trudy asked, does MetaStock work with eTrade? Sure, but it doesn't do any trading for you. It's just an analysis platform. So you can use eTrade. I use actually TD Ameritrade, and you can use whatever broker you want. It's broker independent. Anthony Najayan asks, Mr. Bigelow's CPS offer was for $2.99. That's a great question, Anthony. Is it a one-time cost, or do I have to pay for it over and over and over again? It's a one-time cost. Also, if you have the same question about the Top Dog Trading Toolkit, that's also a one-time cost. You pay for it once. If you don't like it, it's a money-back guarantee, so you can return it. After that one-time cost, if you like it, you like it. You keep using it, and it just makes money for you. One-time cost. We do not have a web version of MetaStock Chibizi. I hope I pronounced. I'm sure I just slaughtered your name. Sorry about that. With our forecasting model particularly, we wouldn't be able to pull that off on a website. So that's why. I tried to go get the Haguro method for free and could not get it from there. Okay, let me show you exactly where that's at. So if you come to metastock.com/Haguro, there's a video that's me talking a little bit about it. Right here where it says download your trial, skip that. Just right here where it says download the Haguro add-on and install it. Go ahead and, actually there's why it says Attorney Tony Turner way. I need to have that removed. This is from a different page that I was using. But just click on that. This is going to download an FO setup that you'll run, and it'll install the Haguro into your MetaStock for you. So that's where you'll get it. If you have MetaStock already, just go ahead and click on this, download the Haguro add-on, and it'll put it in your MetaStock for you. Let's see. Hopefully they didn't take that side. I had a note that the Traders-Summit didn't work. It might have been that I just kind of typed it wrong. I was working on the slides last night. This is the page you will go to sign up for any of the bonus offers in case you missed them. Traders-Summit. I might have typed it in wrong. If you want to sign up for the free trial of MetaStock, you can go to Traders-Summit. Just add an extra T on there. And let's see if that page works too. You could just kind of come in and decide whether you want end of day or real time. Watch a couple of videos up there. I like our pages. I think they do them really good. You can do your free 30-day trial of Pro or end of day right here. We have another question. I missed some parts of the seminar. Are you going to make the whole thing available? We are. We'll make the whole thing available. Because it's 8 hours of audio and video, it's probably going to be mid to late next week before we actually send a notice that it's ready. Norman says the Haguro page is not giving him the option. Because that question has come up twice, let me just show you that again. Excuse me. So if you come to here, if you already have MetaStock, skip 1 and 2. Just click on 3 where it says download the Haguro add-on. When you do that, it'll download a little FO setup, run that, and it'll install into MetaStock 13 or 14. If you don't have MetaStock already, sign up for the trial and get it installed first, otherwise it won't do anything. Okay. Hello, hello, Mr. Nanaganda. I hope I know I slaughtered your name too. I'm sorry. To get the magazine offer, Jeff, there's a couple different offers. When you did your trial submission for the Traders Summit, it would have, one of the offers would have been a free subscription to Stocks and Commodities for 1 month. And you just, so if you didn't sign up for it, go ahead and just put in your name and address on this page again and make sure you get your complimentary issue right here and any other bonus offers that you might have decided you want in the meantime. And then if you actually buy something from us, that process is automatic. I'll pull a report at the end of the month that actually shows exactly who qualifies for what offer. Does Barry Burns' Top Dog methodology have scanners for Top Dog setups? Yes, we do. I'll show you that because I still have it open, actually, and because we're going to spend as much time answering questions as we need to today. Here's the scanner. Here's the methodologies, and you'll notice it's putting the buy and the sell signals on this chart for me. If you want to run a scan, just come to this Top Dog category. There's quite a few different scanning criterias. Find the ones that you want to scan for and just run that as your scan. There you go. So yeah, we do have scanning in there. Let's see. Nancy asked a question, can the add-ons be purchased if you do the 3-for-1 trial MetaStock offer? Yes, absolutely, Nancy. What you'll want to do is start to evaluate that add-on, and absolutely, we're going to let you buy the add-ons too. Remember, those have a money-back guarantee on them of 30 days, so take a look at them and determine if you like them. George asked a question that's really good. I'm glad you asked that, George, because That's something that's really kind of something that we need to talk about every time. With MetaStock, is it easy for us to create custom scans, and can you create your own custom scans? The answer is yes. You can write your own scans, you can write your own indicators, you can write your own system tests. You can't write your own forecasts yet, but we're working on that, and I hope we release it soon, because the customizability of MetaStock is really easy to kind of accomplish. And so it's really well suited for people that want to create a scan, but they don't want to do it in Visual Basic, or they don't have the expertise to do it in Visual Basic. It's really, really easy to create your own custom scans. And we do offer a service, if you don't want to do any programming at all, we do offer a service where for $35 you can have our programmer write a scan for you as well. So Greg Mills asks, I already have MetaStock, so I bought MetaStock already. How much to pay for monthly data, or can I get it somewhere else? Well, with MetaStock, we get all of our data from Reuters Data Link. The cost depends on what you want to pay for. It can be anywhere between $24.95 per month. On up, depending on if you want real-time, and exchanges can get kind of complicated for the real-time costs. So I'm going to say probably what I'm going to ask you to do in that case is give one of our guys a call. They're still here, 800-882-3040. They can talk to you about what you've got, how to bring that up to MetaStock 13 if you need to, and how much you'll pay for data. Okay? Whew. I feel like I've run a marathon today. Are you guys tired? Servinis asks if we can run a scan. Sure. I'll start this one against the S&P 500. Next. I'm going to change this to a daily basis and use the current time. I'll show you how this one works. This is just one of the scans. While I'm answering another question, I'll show you the report when it comes back. Somebody asked for the links. Okay, let me show up the slideshow for links again, Ken, because there's quite a few of them that we've talked about today. There's a lot of resources. Well, this scan, Servina says, how do I get the scans? When you install the TopDog add-on, you'll install those scans. Chi Kwan says, can I use MetaStock with TradeStation? Sure. TradeStation's a great brokerage, and you'll really like using MetaStock in conjunction with it. CUT asks, can I use MetaStock for Australian markets and Forex? Great question. With our Thomson Reuters data, we have 180-something exchanges that we cover. That includes Australia. We get a lot of customers from Australia. It includes what is arguably I think one of the best Forex data feeds out there, and so give it a shot. You'd love it. We have really good Australian news with all of the Australian correspondence that we have globally. Give it a try. He also asked a question, would you do it differently whether you are in the U.S. or Australia? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I can't tell you that because I'm always trading U.S. instruments, even if I'm in Australia. So I can't say that I would one way or the other. I don't know. It's a hypothetical question. Maybe one day I'll move to Australia and trade Australian stocks, and I can answer that question to some degree of certainty. Here's the report for that you asked me to run. In that particular case, the S&P 500 had a top dog dad entry trade for Motorola and Amgen on Friday. Let me go back to those links that you guys were asking for, and we'll just kind of keep going through this. There we go. There's the links. Okay. Well, that looks like I've answered all of your questions. Please, thank you again. I'm going to call this summit a huge success. I mean, geez, we had so many people come, and so many great speakers as well. Please do me a favor and fill out the survey on the way out. Nick asked one last question that I'll do my best to answer. Why would I choose MetaStock over TC2000? I am hesitating to give a lot of a cheeky response. My first gut feeling was to say Bill because it's better. I'm not going to say that, though. TC2000 is a great product. I like MetaStock because it has, I would say some of the uniqueness to MetaStock is I feel like it's a little bit more customizable in the ability to set up your scans and your alerts and your experts and your system tests. I know they have back scanning and things like that. I'm not sure if they do full market testing, which we can do. I'm not sure if they can do that. One of the things I know is super unique to MetaStock and something that I find myself relying on more and more to confirm my trades is that forecaster. So interesting. You know, I said earlier, I'm a Dow trader and I trade the Dow. And just to kind of put it on the screen for you, you know, we came to the bottom of this huge move down on the Dow. You know, I'm sure you guys all remember this. You guys trade the markets. And we had this huge sell down on the marketplace. And we're like, well, are we going to keep going? And I looked at a couple of forecasts. The forecasts were shooting straight up. So I felt comfortable in actually taking the long put calls that I bought right here and holding it in the market. So I use the forecaster as a confirmation tool, and I found myself more and more dependent on it. So you know, you definitely want to try that, and that's something you're not going to find anywhere else. It's nice that we've got our MetaStock programmers back. They're really you know, we're the guys that kind of developed full market scanning. We're the guys that kind of were pioneers, and it's nice that we can focus on the technology again and give you stuff that's super useful in your trading. Okay. Well, thank you, Maverick. Let's see. I don't, John, but I will send I'll pull all the links from the people that today, and I will send to everyone like Monday the summit, just all of the links as an email. I don't have them, unfortunately. I don't even have them in the chat anymore because of the 2 times where we kind of lost the summit and had to start it over again. Paul T says the link for Haguro does not work. That could be a browser thing. I'll show you that again. I did test it, and it does appear to install the right things. So that could be the way you're running it. Bill says, I have both. I think he means MetaStock and TradeStation. And he says MetaStock is much better for trade research. Well, thank you, Bill. Judy asked, can MetaStock chart in multiple tick time frames? Not yet, but it's an official feature for it's coming straight up. It's going to be released very soon. The forecaster shams is our model that Dave was showing a little bit earlier, and I'm sure I can show it again. I'll stay as long as you guys have questions. I'm just going to go ahead and throw up a forecast chart here on Apple, and we'll just give you, this is going to be the down and dirty demo. What we've got in the forecaster, like with system testing, what you think about is like, okay, well, if I buy when something happens, and if I sell when something happens, what is the likely outcome of that? Is kind of the idea behind the forecaster. Or kind of the idea behind system tester. It's not the idea behind forecaster. The idea behind forecaster is if an event happens, what is the likelihood of price change after that happens? And so what we say with that is, okay, well, statistically, every time we have something happen, like let's say we have a 52-week high or a 52-week low or 5 days up in a row, is there a statistical likelihood of price happening after that event? And the way, so if I kind of come back into Apple here, you'll notice that we had a stochastic negative divergence right here. Okay, why do I know it's a stochastic negative divergence? Because that's what it says is the most recent event, and that's the one I've got highlighted. We also had a 52-week high. So depending on the event, when we actually look at that event, if I click on the statistical report right here, it's going to say, okay, the shortest, this is how often this happens statistically. This is what happens 14 days after. This is what happens statistically 30 days after. And these are some of the things that we put into the forecaster. It's not entirely based on the statistics. There's also some proprietary and patent pending research that goes into the calculations of that forecaster. The bottom line is right here where we have a stochastic momentum divergence. If I click on this forecast cloud, it's going to tell me if there's a likelihood of price change. And the brighter the cloud, in this particular case, there's not a lot of statistical likelihood. You see how a lot of the cloud is blue? Well, dark blue means like 30 to 50% likelihood, so there's not really a statistical likelihood of that happening. Whereas if you get to yellow, it's like a 95% plus. So I'm going to look at the 52-week high, which does look a little bit more statistically accurate. And you'll see here within the dark redder bands, that's an 80% probability. So right here, we're actually, because of the 52-week high, generally the price of Apple, when this has happened in the past, goes up. And generally what's kind of interesting about that is it pushes up again after about 3 months. You see right here, this is 90 days. So if I come back to my price and volume marker, I can actually overlay that forecast cloud onto the chart, and I can kind of see both time that's going to happen, and I can see the recency of that. There's a whole video that I can send you on the forecaster, but that's just to kind of give you an idea of what it does. And I use it. It's a great confirming tool, and you're not going to find that in any other packages. It's very, very unique to MetaStock, and I found it very helpful over the last several months as I've really kind of started to use it. A simple question: how many windows can MetaStock let you open at the same time? Tony, that's 100 open charts. So that's a limit in terms of charts. When you're doing testing and scanning and that kind of stuff, there's actually not a limit. It'll just take a little bit longer. I routinely do system tests against the whole market or whole markets, and that you can do. It just takes a little bit longer. Can you show abnormal volume scans? For example, TC2000 has volume buzz and stuff like that. Well, there's a lot of scans that are already in MetaStock. There's about 40 or 50 there. For abnormal volume, let me go ahead and just minimize this, and we'll open up our scanning module here. And this is a list. Now, keep in mind, I am a MetaStock kind of expert. I've been using MetaStock for a very long time, so I've got a lot of scans in here that I've written. But a lot of these are actually already included. And if you're looking for kind of those abnormal volume scans, like here's one that'll look for high volume on a day or a surge in price and volume, and you can do that over 5 days and 90 days. Overall, I think, and don't quote me on this, here's one that actually is really cool that looks for a break of support and resistance that is included. So you can do also one that does trend lines. Don't quote me on this, but I think there's about 60 to 70 pre-built scans, if not more. Gotta go. Ralph was left. Okay. Okay, as an FYI, Bill successfully installed and ran the Haguro method. And that's right, I actually showed you, I promised to show you how to do that again. Let's see. What is it? Let me go back here. I'm getting tired. I feel like I literally have run a marathon today. So if you come up to the metastock.com/Haguro, although I wouldn't know what that feels like, to be honest, I've never run more than 300 meters at the same time. That's not exactly true. I've done up to like 3 or 4 miles, but I've certainly never a marathon. So come to metastock.com. This is Chrome that I'm using. Your experience will be a little bit different. If you have MetaStock installed, you have to have MetaStock installed, otherwise you don't have anything to install it into. But if you have MetaStock installed, just click on download the Haguro add-on right here. Click on, when you do that, it's going to go ahead and download the application. Just click on that when it comes up. It'll ask you if you want to run it. Click on run. And it'll automatically install into MetaStock those templates and that kind of stuff that you're working with. In fact, with me, it's going to give me a warning message that I'm overriding my Haguro, but that's all you really need to do. Kay Johnson asked, can you do your own custom forecast scans? You can't, Kay Johnson, but we're working on that. And there's some sort of that, well, I'm not going to talk about that. But we're doing a lot of work on the forecaster right now. Keep in mind, that's version 1. And we have a list of things. Very quickly on that list is some really cool stuff that we'll be showing here, hopefully in the next several months. Mike said, thanks for the class. Love your program. Bye. Goodbye, Mike. He's already gone. What we are purchasing is monthly. Jarrett asked a question. So what we are purchasing is monthly access to charts, and then we can purchase add-ons from the coaches and the indicators. That is correct, Jay, Tara. If you like any of the additional models that we make available, with obviously Haguro being free, you can purchase that. What you're actually accessing, the monthly fee is for MetaStock, the software that's only been rated #1 in its price category for only 24 years in a row. So, and you're going to love it. So do it, try it, give it a shot. All right, guys. Okay, Richard, in that case, unless you've changed the acceleration badge, just go ahead and say okay. The survey, when you exit the room, is going to come up for you, and please do fill it out. I look forward to hearing and reading through how well you like the event. I also asked you things like, what do you want us to talk about in the future? What would you recommend for the next one? So please do answer it. When you exit the seminar, it'll be up. And it'll also, I believe, be emailed to you automatically. The Forecaster is part of MetaStock. It's available as part of the MetaStock download. All right, guys. If you need anything else, we're going to leave the phone lines open, so give us a call if you need to talk to us. I really appreciate your coming in, and we'll see you the next time.